What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed, and I cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. And I always like to feature missing person cases before we get started, but we're going to cover the Kiely Rodni case, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to look at what it looked like for 300 people to be at a party. So I did some little bit of math and some estimates, and I thought we'd kind of dive into that in a little bit. And then I saw someone just ask if we'd be doing call-ins, and I think we will. I think it was a lot of fun yesterday. We heard a pretty cool story from a lady who actually drove into a body of water and actually died and then was resuscitated. So it's an amazing story. So yeah, I think we'll probably do some call-ins. It's going to probably be a shorter show because I got a couple of things I still got to do. But yeah, I think that's what we'll try to aim for. About maybe half hour, 45 minutes. We'll take some calls. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you, mods, for everything you do. And so first, before we get started, let's touch on some of these missing persons. So we've got Kaylee Jones here, age 16, brown eyes, brown hair. She went missing around 11 p.m. near her family's residence of Whooping Creek Church in Carrollton, Georgia, on June 14th of this year. She walked out of her family home sometime overnight on the 14th and could be wearing jean shorts, t-shirt, black Adidas tennis shoes. She is on the spectrum of autism and does need immediate medical care. They believe she may have been groomed by someone she met online, and her family is extremely worried about her well-being. So if anybody's out in Carrollton or in Georgia, please keep a lookout for Kaylee. The number to call down here is 770-830-5888. And there is a $5,000 reward. So let's move on. This is a new one here. This is Alexis Bane. Last sighting on August 17th, just the other day, in Anchorage, Alaska. She is just 15 years old, 5'9", 125 pounds. Her eye color is blue, and she's got red hair. Let me just look in the notes because I just barely snagged this before I went live. Okay, so there is a suspect, Stephen Neron, age 51. So this is his vehicle. So apparently they're in a vehicle. They're looking for this vehicle. It's a red Avalanche truck with Oakland Raiders sticker. Trying to zoom in here. So, and he's obviously got apparently a record for SA. Prior to that, in 2017. So he is a SO. And just see if there's anything else in the notes here. And it looks like he failed to register and is out of compliance. So he is 5'6", 51 years old, white male. Doesn't give his description, but it looks like he's kind of got maybe dark brown hair, blue eyes, glasses, full facial hair. He may try to shave that. But this was just the other day. See if there's a license plate here. Don't see that. But we'll try to get some more information up, and I'll put it in the description. But that's big. We'll try to get as much details as we can because this is only a few days ago, and so it's important to get all the information out. So if anybody's out in Alaska, please be on the lookout for that red Avalanche truck with the Oakland Raiders sticker on it. And then one more. So this is Jolissa Fuentes, who I hope I pronounced that right. And this is, she was last seen on Sunday morning at 4 a.m. at the Arco AM PM at Highland, Highway 43 in Nebraska Avenue. Her sister received two video chat calls from her number around 5:24 and 5:25 Since then, they have not heard anything, and she was reported missing shortly after, later that day. So she's just 22 years old, and that is Selma, California, and they're looking for a gray/silver 2011 Hyundai Accent. The rear windows are tinted, and here is the license plate 8MP U766. So if anybody has information, there's the number down there, and 559-896-2525. Okay. Oh, shout out to Grizzly. Grizzly just had an amazing show. She just deep dived everything into the Kiely Rodni case. Just amazing. So if you didn't catch her show today, after this, I would go check that out. She did an amazing job, as always. And honored to have her in here. So thank you so much, Gizla. Yeah, we try to cover as much missing people as we can. So, all right, let me back that out. So I'm just going to quickly go over the basic timeline. I know there's a lot more little details, but we're just going to go over a little bit of the timeline, and then I'm going to go into the specific thing of just looking at the logistics of 300 people at a party, and just kind of see what you guys think. So, because we were doing a little bit of math. So, so basically, the basic timeline is Kaylee was on camera at a local business in Truckee, California at 6:08, and then her friend, or we're not even sure if it was really her friend, Sami arrives at the party at 9 p.m. At 9:30, campers David and Jennifer witness a train of cars going into the party, which I think is huge. Kylie and Mags arrive at the party, and then Mags leaves shortly after. She's the one that was on the news saying that, you know, as soon as she got there, she was getting bombarded by some older guys that were trying to force her to take bong rips. So she left shortly after arriving. Then at 11 p.m., Sami and Kylie go to Kylie's car to charge their phones and drink more alcohol that was in Kylie's car. Sami asked Kylie for a ride home from the party because her ride was leaving and she wanted to stay longer. Can we get a link for Gizla's channel? Sure. Yeah, I'm sure one of my mods would be happy to put her channel link in there. If you can. Thank you. And so, and then at 11:30, Kylie texts mom saying she has her plans of leaving the party in 45 minutes. So that would mean she'd be leaving around 12:15 a.m. Then last location shared with mom at campground. Last time Sami sees Kylie, I was leaving and I gave her a hug telling her I loved her and goodbye for her to get home safe or be safe at 12:25. And then Snapchat shows data ping in the same location at the campground. And then this is the other big one. So these same campers, David and Jennifer, that were camping northwest of where the Prosser Family Campground was, which is about a half mile from where the party was. They witnessed a large group of cars leaving at 12:30. And then Kylie's phone is supposedly turned off, either through dead battery at 12:33. And then, this is the weird part, at 12:36, Sami receives a call from Kylie asking Sami if she needs a ride home. But then Sami, who is in someone else's car at the time, says that she's on her way home. She's got a ride. Sami states when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party. Okay, so basically Sami quoted saying that when she called me, which is Kylie, she was not in a car, and I could hear the party and many people talking in the background, which is interesting. This is 12:36, but yet, you know, everybody's supposedly leaving at 12:30. I think that's interesting. That doesn't quite add up. I mean, I'm sure people would still be there, but it's kind of weird that it seems like the party kind of ended shortly after or at 12:30. Okay, so let's take a look at the map here. Let's back this out real quick. Okay, so this is where the party was at. And that witness, they said they were staying at the Lakeside Campground, which is about a half a mile away. Back this out just a little bit. And so I did a little bit of research because, we've been hearing that there could be up to 300 people at this party. And there hasn't been, one of the biggest problems is let's see, we've got this photo that we don't even know if it's actually from the party that's been out there. And there's been a lot of people that have tried to do reverse image search and still haven't found anything. So we're not sure if this is actually from the party. But we do know this one here is the only one that's been, I believe, confirmed. And I did a little head count. It's kind of hard to tell because there's a few, it's such a kind of a grainy photo. But from what I kind of gathered, it's about 30 people. I counted each head here. So what we're looking at is what we can see is 30 people in this shot. Now there could be obviously 4, 5, 10 more people that are just kind of hidden behind the scenes here, but as far as what we can see, there is just 30 people right there, which is a little interesting. So let me put that down there. The pic was only confirmed by Sammy. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's 60 people max. Yeah. So anyway, so I went to a website. Let me turn this down just a little bit here. Now, the one thing, Sharon, you do got to keep in mind is obviously they have more pieces to the puzzle, and they say they do have, I believe, photo and video evidence. So they have been quoted as saying 200 to 300 people. But we're just going to take a look at it and just show you what I've kind of came up with and let you guys decide. So I went to this site here. So this is kind of like if you're like setting up an event and you're trying to figure out like how much space you need, if you and how many people, so if you're going to have 100 people, how much space, square feet, are you going to need for this many people? And so as you can see, it kind of gives you two numbers here. The first number is more like so it says 25 people, it says 150 square feet. Now, I think that's really kind of referring to more like a concert where it's like crowded. And as you can see, the second number is much bigger, where it would be more like a convention where you've got tables, objects, and people aren't all crammed in together. So we're going to go off this more bigger number here. Because obviously this wasn't, a concert. Yes, party. I'd still think a lot of people are going to be kind of grouped together, but at the same time, we've got trees to kind of factor in. And so what I did is, with 200 people, it says, with objects and kind of a conference type setting, which I think would be a party. It says 7,000 square feet. And so if we were to add one more 100 to that to make it 300, obviously we would divide 700 in half, which would give us 3,500. And then we add that together, and that basically gives us 10,500 square feet. So at 10,500 square feet, for a basic party of 300 people with, objects and stuff around. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like here. So, and this is pretty accurate as far as these dimensions because, so this is what 10,500 square feet look like right here. And so it's, to some people that may look small, I think that's pretty big. And this is pretty accurate as far as the square footage with Google Earth, because one of the things I was able to because I was kind of testing to see how like accurate Google Earth is with like using the measurement tool. And so a basic car is about 96.7 square feet. And so I did do some tests, and if we were to just look at, a car, and this might be slightly a bit bigger, but yeah, so we get about 126. Well, I'm actually kind of a little bit off, so every little bit matters, but I would say about average 100 square feet. So we're just gonna, instead of 96.7, we're just gonna use 100. So 100 square feet. So it's pretty on point with its with using this measurement tool with Google Earth. So going back here. So this is what 300 people would look like with this area. But the other thing we got to factor in, which is the big one, is the cars, which is huge. So let's say if there's 300 people there, and I'm sure a lot of people carpooled, and kind of going in between. So I'm sure not everybody drove by themselves. I'm sure not everybody had 4 people to a car. So we'll be generous and say that there was 3 people to every car. So if we basically divide 300 by 3, we get 100 cars. So let me put that there. So now we got to factor in our our 100 cars for our 300 people, and that's what we get. Now the big thing about this is I did this with each car having 100 square feet each, which really means that every car would be basically it'd be like a parking lot, but maybe even tightly closer. So and that would be a completely open area. So obviously we got trees in here and stuff. So this actually would not be accurate. If anything, this would be probably about twice as big to fit all those 100 cars in there. And we've seen the one picture, which looks like there was probably some cars parked where the party was actually going on. So factoring that in, I think if you doubled this and maybe added a little bit more on there, that's a lot of square footage to take up. And so just and then the other thing is that where the party was going on was because keep in mind there's a steep embankment that kind of runs like right here. And then you've kind of got the road, and it looks like the party was going on right here. So factoring in this box would probably be at least twice as big to accommodate those 100 vehicles, plus your 300 people. I think seems slightly unlikely. Let me know what you guys think. Now, I still think there could be at least maybe, it could have gotten up maybe to 200 people, maybe coming and going, maybe not all at the same time. But 300 people seems a little up there, in my honest opinion. But I just thought I'd show you guys what it kind of looks like. But like I said, keeping in mind that the square footage here is all the cars literally parked side by side with pretty much no room in between. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to take a look at that. Yeah, and I'm sure people parked all sorts of places. I'm just trying to give you guys kind of a mass of what it would just look like, just by square footage of how much space you're going to be taking up. So, but yeah, that seems a lot. But then going off the picture that we have here, I mean, depending on what time this picture was taken, like I said, I only did, and we'll kind of count it together here. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and I'm sure there's probably a guy back here, so 30 in view. And taking a look at, let's see, let's put this down real quick here. So shout out to Steve Fisher, who went out there with his drone. That's it's so amazing to especially fly a drone in the forest. It's pretty brave. Let me find the one that I wanted. That's the evening flight. Yes, this is the one I wanted. Okay, yeah, this is the one. So basically what we're looking here is we're looking basically southeast a little bit of this big square that we had. And they sure seem to have cleaned up pretty good. Yeah, I actually, one of the ways, it was so funny that you mentioned that, Karen. One of the ways that I figured out where so I was up all night 2 nights ago trying to figure out where this party was at, because there had been nobody that actually been there like with GPS until Steve. And so I was up all night the night before looking at pictures and stuff. And if you guys, for those that saw my video, I kind of looked at what was in the background, and then kind of just with the embankment here, I was able to kind of tell from the. I'm so used to saying mountain range or something because we live in the mountains, but this is either hills or mountain ranges. But like I said, I'm so used to saying mountain range because we live in the mountains. But this hill that you can kind of see back here kind of goes wobble like that, and that is literally just looking southwest, and it lines up like perfect. But we do know that he was out there with his GPS. But basically what you're seeing is this. And it was funny because I spent all night looking at it, and then I did a video, and then he was actually out there, and then probably an hour later after I did my video, or probably less than that, he was nice enough to pull out his GPS and send a screenshot to Gisla confirming that this was the actual place where the party was at. But yeah, thank you, Susie Goosey. Yeah, I've seen the 200 to 300 people. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to show people kind of what it looked like from a square footage type thing. I could see maybe 200. But it's just weird that nobody's talking. To have like 300 people, nobody talking. There's little to no photos or videos except for whatever law enforcement has. But obviously they're probably not talking. Yeah, I'm just reading the chat here. But yeah, we'll take some phone calls here in a minute. But so the biggest thing that, like I said, when you kind of look at this drone when it's going up, and this is where the party was supposedly at. And I did a side-by-side comparison of this photo, and let me know what you guys think here. Because I really don't think this is like the same party. Supposedly the party went 3 hours, but yet it had all these lights and everything set up. It just seems weird for this big party to go only 3 hours. Now I get it. Yeah, a lot of them are teenagers. They've got curfews that parents need to get home. But I find it weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just from where I'm at. Like, I find it weird. Like, if it was me, because Utah, we've done this, but we've done it not on a party scale, but like with just friends getting together. I mean, even at age 18, we would go and we would spend the night because we knew we'd be drinking or smoking weed. And I find it so weird that, because supposedly a college campus got word of it, and that's kind of where all these older gentlemen and whatever showed up. And I just find it weird that nobody spent the night there. Like, nobody that came to this party spent the night. I just find that so weird. And it just gives me such Heidi Plank vibes that, we heard that from Ronnie, this guy that kind of came on the Ickamel show saying that his cousins saw Kylie drunk before. I mean, she seemed drunk when they got to the party. Like, she was already drunk. So, and if she would continue drinking, she was probably, sadly, inebriated by the time, 12:30 rolled around. Probably why she texted her mom and not called her mom would be my guess, is why she didn't call him and just texted it her mom. Yeah, and then the other thing is I've been trying to look, and I'm still looking into this, but the other thing is these two trees that kind of go up together. I've yet to find, what it is looking at these two trees here, and then this tree here going off to the side. I've yet to find that exact setup in this little area I wouldn't say little, but this area with all these trees. I've yet to find the same exact setup of trees, which is kind of weird. And clearly this picture, and it's tough to say, I really think this picture is taken from looking northeast, almost. And I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm almost positive that this picture is probably taken northeast. And what it is this person is in the car, and that the road, because this has been one of the big things I've been trying to figure out, is where they took this picture. And I'm not 100% sure, but right now I'm guessing. Let me zoom this back out here. So as you can see, there's the dirt road that runs along in here, and it kind of gets you can see it here, and then it kind of gets kind of lost, kind of zigzags, I think, in here a little bit. But I think what we're looking at from this picture here is something about right here, and this is the direction they're taking the picture. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm still looking into that. But it does seem like that. You go full view. So here's him just kind of pulling out, which is amazing. He must have a nice drone, because you got to be so careful when you're flying a drone near all these trees. So clearly he did an amazing job doing this. Which one? The one on the news? The one on the news, I believe, has been confirmed. I think that's the only one. I'm not sure what source confirmed it. I mean, it was on the news, so I would assume. But the other picture, I have no idea. I think it came from Sammy or something. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So I think what we'll do is while we're watching some drone footage, I just want to touch on a few things that I saw in this Facebook post that was kind of crazy, which is some text messages. So this came out 5 hours ago. I don't know if these are real or not, so take this with a grain of salt. So this is supposedly from a YouTuber talking with Kate Kuno. And it says, Sammy only took the lead because she put the party together. And then this YouTuber says, oh, it was her party? Why do you think she left Kylie there? Is it normal because you all arranged to go home by yourselves usually? Or do you also find that odd? And then Kate said, I also find that odd. And then they responded, really? And then Kate said, she shouldn't have left Kylie alone. Sorry if you can't read that, guys. I can't zoom in. I could take a screenshot, but actually, let me do that. That way we can... Here, this way we guys can see it. Because this is pretty interesting, actually. Oh, did I not? Okay, so that was the first one. Then it says, did Kylie hang out with Sammy often then? Because she said they became really close in recent months. So confusing, right? And supposedly Kate says, no, Sammy and Kylie never hung out. So, it's kind of crazy. But this is the first I've heard. I don't know if that was in the interview with Sammy. Did she say that she put the party together? Let me know, chat, because I don't recall ever hearing, unless I missed something in the interview. But from what if this is the real Kate, saying that Sammy put this party together, which is huge. And then now we've learned that apparently Sammy and her family have kind of ditched town. Just read the chat. So that's pretty interesting. There's one more thing in here. So this Roman guy showed up a few days ago. He says, I'm in one of the volunteers. I've been searching for Kylie in the area. Me and my wife live in Verde, Nevada, which is very close to where this party took place. I took my Jeep throughout Dog Valley, Stampede, and Boca. It's a huge area north where Kylie supposedly stayed at the party. I've seen nothing so far. And then it kind of keeps going. And he says, he seems like our Honda CR-V would not have been the best vehicle to get around in some of these terrains. So I guess that would be true, especially, this guy's got a Jeep. So that could cancel out some of these certain areas that... Because when I was looking at this case at the beginning, one of the things that stuck out to me is just so many ways that you can exit out of this park, and especially if you have something that's kind of higher end. It seems like you could even go up north through this little dry lake bed or reservoir bed here, and same with the south here. As a matter of fact, we've seen in the drone footage that this is pretty dry, and you would probably be able to make it through this way south, which each way just spiders out into all these other little back roads that there's just so many ways that if it was foul play and they were trying to take her car out somewhere. There's just so many ways, especially going out north. It spiders out into so many different ways, sadly. Let's see, what's the minute? What's that? So, yeah, why don't we take some phone calls here, and let me put the phone line up, and we'll look at the drone footage, because there's a few things that I wanted to show you guys. And shout out again to Steve for that amazing drone footage. So, Mods, if you could put up the number for me, please. Awesome. So, yeah, if you guys would like to call in, so APW or AWP, which I believe they're coming in tonight, late tonight. So, probably get started tomorrow. I'm assuming if they're coming in late tonight, they'll probably get started tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys. I even saw someone say that the photo looked to be from 1996. Interesting.
Call from
Just Mike.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up, Just Mike?
Hey, what's up? I've called before. I had a question for you. Yesterday I did a little tracking on a plane that was a glider. In your experience of searching, have you ever heard of a one-man glider doing searches?
No. Sounds pretty interesting, though.
Yeah, I took pictures and had a little recording here and there. I've pulled that conversation out because I found out it was private on there, but I found it odd that it was searching in the area where the campsite is and do these big circular radii. So
Interesting. So you're from that area, correct?
no, well, I've been out in that area. Used to be in California, so Truckee's like a party spot.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't been to that area.
Okay.
But when you look at like the thing, I put it on pause, unfortunately. The one that I've been looking at that is a picture is the blue one with the beanie that has a little tag on it. And I keep on wondering, like, why aren't they asking, like, who this guy is or any other clear shots of guys like they did with any other cases that we can think of?
Oh, right. I know what you're saying. So, the photograph that's in question, are you talking about the guy that's kind of looks like an older gentleman?
Yeah, he's got like it's clear cut beanie,
Uh-huh.
and he's got like kind of like long hair. I've made it into a black and white. Like I'm not a professional, but I've gotten in more detail than what that like rave light color is, and I did a little searching on that. That kind of meets up to like EDM, and that area is known for EDM parties.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because this looks like a rave setting. I've never actually been to a rave. I was always just a pothead
Like
back in my day.
when I think of free drugs that they were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the movie Project X?
Yes, vaguely. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but yeah.
It's not like the same similarity, but they had free drugs. This is free drugs. Everything, like that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Now, so you've experienced this kind of thing. Does it make sense for, now keep in mind they are 16, 18, does that make sense for that to be a 3-hour party?
Well, when it came to that Project X one, it was like, could have been long, or it could have been just randomly added and gone to another place. Like, you got to think it's hot August nights, it's end of the summer, it's party time.
Right.
That's going to be party, no matter what.
Right. The thing I think about, let me know your thoughts. So you go to a party, 3 hours, get super drunk, wasted. Well, not super drunk, but you get all messed up, and now you've got 100. So, like I said, if there is up to 300 people, we're talking at least around 100 cars. Now you've got 100.
I don't see 300 because one thing about that area is you got so many Highway 80 cameras on there. Like, if you know that area, you know there's speed traps and everything else in that area. Like, it's heavily surveillance, really.
Okay, so Highway 80's got cameras on it. Quite a few, is what you're saying. Highway 80.
Yeah, most of the time it's with the truckers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And Tahoe's not really that far either, too, so you got, like I said, you got all this tourists, you got all these things going on in Truckee.
Okay, interesting.
What I think happened with Sammy, and I recorded one of her interviews, can't quote on it, she indicates that she's been at this place multiple times and done parties on it. And I'm looking at this, something happened differently. I think that Kylie has gone to these parties in the past. This party's different. Something went bad.
I agree. I get the same feeling. Wow. Yeah, because the thing I think of is, like, why is one of the people, if there was, let's say, even 50 cars, you got 50 cars at, a bunch of these people. I mean, unless there's designated drivers, but, I mean, still, you got a bunch of people leaving that are half probably intoxicated, if something doesn't add up.
Here's my devil's advocate question and stuff. Unfortunately, I have it on pause. I'll watch it on replay. When I look at your map, are you able to pinpoint and tell, like, the audience, this is the estimate of where she was last at, estimately, versus there's no information of dog scent saying that she went from this point to this point?
Not right now. No, not until, it sucks. Like Dylan Round's case, I was able to, the mom said, this is where the ping was at. And so, and then we've never heard where, she kind of says, well, this is where the cars park. Sammy does, she kind of, does her hand thing and says, oh, a lot of the cars are parked here and stuff. So, yeah.
So you kind of see somewhat, not really the same Dylan Round's experience for yourself with this case.
Yeah, it's definitely different. But yeah, as far as where the ping is, all I know is what everybody else does is it's half on water, half on land, and then we're not sure where the car was parked.
I want to ask the last question on that. And speaking on pinging, so many people have talked about pinging so much, but what I'm looking is with all that digital data that is there.
Yes.
Even from the towers.
Yes.
No one's talking about digital foot tracking. I mean, This is where I'm kind of looking at Sammy and her family, like, you got you're a PI and an attorney.
Right.
You're telling me you can't figure out where her best friend is? Like, the audience, the world is kind of looking at you like you did something? Like, you can't find something to make it look like you're not doing that? Instead, I don't know how the whole thing's been going, but you've been trying to direct of searches, trying to get kids together. Like, I started thinking, like, you're trying to investigate this case to cover up something that you did wrong. That's what it sounds like to me.
Could be. You make great points, especially with the family, the parents' background, for sure. Great points, buddy. Great insight, bud.
I'll talk to you later. You got a whole bunch on here. I'm glad we can talk on here, and we might have more later.
All right. I appreciate you following me, buddy, and thanks so much for sharing your thoughts, buddy.
Thank you. Bye, Mom.
All right. See you, buddy. If you guys do call in, try to just turn the show down and then use the phone. I was wondering why there was such a delay between him responding to my questions, because he was listening to the video. Thank you so much, Rocky K9. Are you planning a field trip for Truckee, Chris? Ask your viewers about if they would like to if they would like to see your own video footage. So, yeah, so Truckee is about 8-hour drive away. I don't want to put something like that big out there. It's definitely crossed my mind for sure. But if anything, we might go look for Dillon Rounds, because Dillon Rounds is, I can make it there in a day and still probably be able to come back in a day. This would be something bigger, but it has crossed my mind. We'll see. The tough thing about the drone was amazing, and it really helps when you're using it in a desert format, because you can get real low. The biggest problem with this is it's mostly forest, sadly, and that's the drones. I mean, there's still a lot of places the drones can get to, but it's just going to be a lot harder. With this terrain, the drones aren't going to be that great, because they're going to have to fly over these trees, and it's just going to be so high up that, it's still, unless you had maybe FLIR or something, some infrared, and you flew at night, but that's if, there's body heat. I'm still no drone expert by any means, so, but it would definitely be a little bit harder, I would think. But that's a great question, K9. We definitely kind of thought about it. Unfortunately, Nick is busy doing his thing. He's got his life and his job, and it's kind of picked up for him. So, how far is Vegas to Montello? It's not that. Vegas to Montello, 80 miles, maybe a little more, 100 miles. But yeah, so phone line's up if somebody wants to call in here. The other thing we learned today is that she put 2 gallons of gas in. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to do some math on that, because I would have loved to kind of saying if she had 2 gallons of gas in her car, and if it's say 17 to 20 miles per gallon, I think 17 to 20 miles per gallon, and let's say she still had maybe a gallon left, so she could get up to anywhere from about 60 miles. That's still pretty big. Yeah, so the 13s, I think it's all depends on who. Here, let me put this up so I can see myself here. I think it kind of depends on, because Honda does have a thing where you can set up your iPhone to the. There's an app that you can set to your Honda. So I think it kind of depends, but I think they do for the most part. And I'm still doing some research on that, because I know the GPS navigation system only comes on the high-end ones. But I think with the... okay, Florison says no. So I think you actually have to do some kind of aftermarket setup then to have it. Yeah, because I think that would be the biggest thing. Because obviously, the biggest thing that's missing right now is the vehicle. I think, we find the vehicle, we find Kylie. Let me just show that for just in case the right person needs to see this. But so what is missing is the Honda CR-V 2013 with the sunroof, regular hubcaps, silver, and then it's got a sticker of a bull, and I'll show the sticker here in just a second. And then the license plate, which is huge, is 8YUR127, which I think is big. Yeah, that is interesting. We'll look at that here in just a second. I think Steve is the one that discovered that. Let me just show that. So there's a parent sticker that's in the supposedly in the back there. So, yeah, no suspects right now. So 23 to 24. Okay. is it 24? So yeah, 50, 60 miles. Assuming she probably had a little bit of gas in her tank, but yeah, let's look at that post that he shared here. And this is another thing. A lot of people have been seeing tracks there with this drone footage he put out, and there are tons of tracks, mainly ATV tracks. So keep that in mind when you guys look at, if you guys do look at this drone footage. We were just looking at some there just a second ago, but and then he says that there's been some dive teams back out there, but they have what is this? So this is posted today. So there are items like this being found. I found some very neat, the party location today, but you can run the part number and see what car it is manufactured to. Wow. So he found this today. It's not a CRV, and it's apparently the green tape is an indicator, has been found by searchers. Okay, I'm just looking at this real quick. So he posted this earlier today. And just looks like a piece of car that it came off. Interesting. Looks like is that where the license plate would go? Interesting. Here's another little shot at the view here. Yeah, parts of a car. Yeah. Looking at the chat here. So phone lines are open if you guys want to call. Like I said, I'm going to go too long here just because I'm going to be setting up a live for tomorrow. I'm going to try to hopefully have a special guest on. Yeah, it could have been front bumper, back bumper. Kind of look like I'd have to look at it more here. But, yeah, let's see. Where was that little post that he had? Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. So he said, nobody from the party is talking, maybe because there's nothing to speak about. I have searched all day, every day, and not seen one local law enforcement or friend searching since Monday. In a bizarre twist, front person Sammy and her parents suddenly and unexpectedly also left California on Monday. WTF. And Grizzly just said, and just a few days ago, Sammy said she wasn't going anywhere until her friend was found. Wow. That's kind of interesting.
Call from
Holly.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Hi, Holly.
Hey, Chris. So did you get a chance to look at that video? I just got in here.
Which video? Remind me.
Oh, the one from last night. Yeah, whatever. Early this morning. The one about the drone footage and that white jug.
Yes. All right, now you're talking about the over the lake?
Yes, over that little branch of it where it kind of comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like something, but I think it's been called in. I'm sure probably either way. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. Let me see if I can find it.
And then that square thing, I didn't realize she did have a laptop. So that black thing I was talking about might have been that. And I went back and watched that section of it. So yeah, when you were showing it, it was actually on the trip, past it, and it was the turnaround trip where I'd actually seen the, a little bit further. That's where I was in that clip. It was the south of that large, but I was like, huh. But yeah, I was just kind of curious about that. But the other thing was, I wasn't sure if you'd seen the video where the girl in the gray sweatshirt was leaning up from the back seat, and then she went to go, sit back. And I'm like, what is she doing? So I slowed it down, and I guess it was Kylie that you could see where she had her hand up to the back of her head, like, ducked down towards the, the floor of the front seat, passenger seat. And then when she, kind of in slow-mo as she's coming back, you can see that, she kind of put her other, I guess it looked like she was probably just got done hitting her. And so she put her hand on the dash and was still had her head down. And then the brunette chick with the long hair kind of keeps continuing to the back of the seat. And then you can see her reach her hand up, like, towards her neck. I'm like, what in the heck? So, yeah, it's just a bunch of weird stuff. But I wasn't sure if that was in that parking lot of the whatever thing that they've been at.
So you're talking about this TikTok video?
I think it was a TikTok video, yeah, where she was in the back seat.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Let me see if we're talking about the same thing. Let's see. Where do I still have it? Oh yeah, I do.
Catch my.
Oh gosh, I better turn down. Cause I don't think this is her. I don't know if we're talking about the same one. Are we talking about? It's gonna take a minute to catch up.
It was the one where it was just, I just saw a short clip of it, and it was a girl in a gray sweatshirt with long brown hair, from the back seat, like almost down on the, she was just completely leaned over the seat, so all you saw was basically the gray sweatshirt at first, and then she backs up a little bit, and then you see her long dark hair, and then she goes to get to the back of the seat. Yeah, so see what she's doing, like, see? Yeah, okay, I didn't even see that part.
Yeah.
So that's the longer version. I just saw, where her hand was reaching and then it stopped. So
yeah.
Who is that punching her?
So
that is definitely what is going on there.
Yeah. So
I mean,
go ahead.
Who is that supposed to be?
I'm going to be honest with you. Either way, this was actually taken on 4/20 of 2021. I think somebody uploaded a video trying to stir some stuff up of a girl that looks like Sammy. We're still kind of debating. I don't think it's her, but either way, I did discover this is actually uploaded a year ago. I think this could be just some trolling, and
well, she's still getting pounded on, so even if it's a late video to to this thing, is it like somebody putting out, no, here's a history of them having a problem? I'm just curious as to and why all these games with the videos and the, it's like, here we go, with all these video things. But anyways, I was just curious about that, but I actually didn't see that, after the hand part.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely she ain't laughing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm still looking at it, but I'm not convinced this is Sammy. But
she's demonic looking right there.
She is. Oh yeah, whoever this is does look a little demonic. I'll give you that. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just curious. I'm sure how long you've been on. I wanted to call and ask about the jug too, because I was curious as to what. But yeah, interesting. But all right, Chris, I just wanted to share that, and you.
All right.
Play the longer version. That's even better. But yeah, I guess it was a girl fight, and all those people were looking at that corner.
Oh, did you hear something about that? That there was a fight, because I know they were doing like a fight club thing, but
yeah.
Oh, is that what was going on?
Right, and I guess it was two girls. So yeah, and your picture the other night had been kind of hiding the guy in the blue shirt off in that right hand corner. But yeah, he was the one that was actually kind of looking like he was running up to it. But yeah, it looked like another car coming down the drive, and you know. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting that was 420 though.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Back on the.
But I also think that
Go ahead.
that Russian guy, if he's the one that's dropping off, a 10-minute swing through, dropping off some party favors and then leaving, and then stuff goes south after that. But that kind of was my take on why somebody would just drop by real quick.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
so your image is hiding that kid in the blue running.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's kind of running up to check something out. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly where this was taken. This is like my next goal is to figure out using Steven's footage and everything, because I want to figure out exactly where this was taken, and just to kind of give me a better idea of how many people could be, in this area. So.
Well, wasn't there 2 party locations too? I don't know if they were both used, or if the second one was like the after party spot, or if they all had to run because the fight broke out. I don't know, but yeah, I was curious because they did have a secondary spot for the party.
It could have been for sure. There might have been 2 parties. Something went down. It just doesn't add up to me for a party to be just 3 hours. But I don't know. That's just me. It just feels weird.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I know that now that I know there was a laptop too or something like that, that might make sense of what that little black object was that was out in that water too that I saw. So
interesting.
Very curious as to what's in that water.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And it looks like it went down, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it evaporated quite a bit from an older water line? So maybe that used to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I talked to one local. He said, that it's obviously just like here in Utah, we've got a nasty drought, and so. Yeah.
And that's not that far away from, as the crow flies. And then you've got Donner's Pass right there. What's up? That's a former,
yes,
murder spot.
Yeah, that's something that I was looking into that I might do a video about. But yeah, where is Donner? Left over here. But yeah. Oh, here it is. But yeah.
Just weird, all the possibilities. Mm-hmm. Without wanting to blame it on friends, like what other thing could it be? But yeah, after seeing her punching her in the face, like. Yeah, whether it was done at 420 or not, that's just what is that, like a hint that there's somebody that has no problem punching her in the face while they're in a parking lot somewhere? All lit up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty crazy. Just wish we could have a little bit more to go off of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I just throw that out there, and I was curious what you seen in the water if you'd looked yet. So, but I'll let you get back to it.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Holly.
You're welcome, Chris. Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, real quick. Yeah, so the laptop, that was actually something that was kind of, it's big, because the more items that are, technically missing is more things that could be found, and, just gonna read chat here. So yeah. Oh, there's something I was gonna pull this back up real quick here. So I do want to touch on Dylan Rounds real quick, and then we'll jump back over because there was one thing with Dylan Rounds. If you guys saw my video earlier, because let's see if there's anything. Let's quickly take a look and see if there's anything with the latest here. Adopted, ever learn? Oh, hey! Oh, cool. So here is Adventures with Purpose. Setting up this evening, as promised, but if the sonar search turns up nothing, where does that leave the search for Kiely Rodni? So that's amazing. So they're there. I'm not sure where this picture is taken, but I do see a body of water. Doesn't look, just from the grass and stuff, this doesn't look like, Prosser Creek. I don't know if this is just a random photo they took, or let's see if we can find, let's see where they're at. That's awesome, though. Okay. So that's amazing. So, I should knew that picture was taken. Let's see, where could there be grass though? I don't think they're at Prosser Creek Reservoir. That's for sure. There's definitely no grass. I don't know if that's just kind of just a picture they took, or they could be at one of these other lakes though. I mean, they could be at Donner Lake or something. Definitely a lot of residential that could have grass that they could have just parked up on. Makes me wonder if that's where they're at, is Donner Lake. I don't know. Did they say exactly where they were going? Anybody know? But yeah, that's really next to Donner. Next to Prosser, and then you've got what is it, Puka Reservoir. But I think, yeah, I guess the best option would be Donner Lake, especially if they have done this reservoir. This is really the next biggest body of water. And then, of course, you would have Lake Tahoe, but as far as her route home, Donner Lake would be the next best bet. So hopefully, it looks like that might be where they're at. Yeah, I wonder how deep Donner... Lake. So Donner Lake is... Max depth is 328 feet. That's pretty deep. It is pretty deep. For the max depth, Lake Tahoe is 1,600 feet. Let's see. Let's say Donner Lake. The lake's depth's been measured by 238 feet. Deep at its deepest point. Level is sea level. Huh. Interesting. Well, hopefully they have some great luck there. And for those that missed yesterday's show, I would definitely, if you get a chance, it was a very interesting show. Plus a very cool, amazing caller that called in, sharing a story. Because one of the things that caught my attention about this case is that she has 12 miles to drive, and there are 12 major bodies of water, more or less. You've got Prosser Creek here. You've got this little reservoir here, and then when you get a little bit closer here, you got all these little bodies of water, plus Donner Lake, and then she would have to drive. Let's see the route. Oh, it kind of zoomed right here, and then this one's dried out, but there's two more areas here that I don't know how deep they are, but this looks like a really steep embankment here. and could have ended up in one of these as well. But I think Donner Lake would be the best bet, especially if they've already spent a lot of resources on Prosser Lake, which Prosser Creek Reservoir. Let me just double check, but if I remember, it's not that deep. That's the dam. No, it wasn't that much. 163 foot deep, and it's definitely gone down. 163. Okay, Prosser Creek. There it is. I'm not sure. Camper up to 60 feet. I thought it was smaller, 53. Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, it's not that deep. Yeah, with the reservoir. Yeah, it seemed less than 100 feet, if I recall. So, yeah, I agree totally. Yeah, let's hope that happens. Okay, phone line's open still. I'll take one more call. I'm going to have hopefully a special guest on tomorrow. So I kind of not going to go too much longer, but yeah, quickly, just a quick update on Dylan Rounds. For those that might have missed my video, where is it? So they did put it out a new flyer, which I think I showed yesterday, which is attention hunters, be on the lookout, watch for anything suspicious that could help locate or solve the criminal disappearance of Dylan Rounds. Which is a little interesting because, at least in the immediate vicinity of Lucin, it's not really an ideal hunting place. But if we go back out here just a little bit and over to Utah here. So here's Lucin. Oops. So here's Lucin here. But if you go up and up into these areas here, I'm not sure what's, because I'm not a hunter, but up into Rosetta and Park Valley, I know that this is a place for hunting and stuff here. I'm not sure about this area because, like I said, I'm not much of a hunter, but I'm assuming maybe all of this here could be prime for some hunting. So I think that's interesting that they put that out there. And then the mother did a little interview. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, yeah, here it is. I'm just going to play this real quick.
After a criminal search comes up short, the family of Dylan Rounds is demanding change in who handles their son's case. After a criminal search comes up short, the family of Dylan Rounds is demanding change in who handles their son's case. The 19-year-old was last heard from over Memorial Day weekend. His mother now telling Fox 13 News reporter Emily Tenser they need help elsewhere.
Dylan Rounds disappeared almost 3 months ago, and his family is fed up with the investigators on his case.
Let somebody with bigger guns handle it because it's just not going anywhere.
Dylan's parents are asking Box Elder County to let go as lead and hand it over to the state or FBI.
We're right back to where we were in the beginning. We got some help there for a little bit, and now we're just lost.
Candace Cooley claims that the county...
This is the weirdest thing, though. So she says it's like slowed down, but you know they literally just did this, search on Brenner's property, and then she was on Duty Ron's show. I would say at the most 3 weeks ago, but it seems a little less than that, like 2 weeks. saying that like everything was fine and like things were moving along and they were just waiting for test results to come back. So it's just kind of weird, just all of a sudden this kind of switch, even after they just searched Brenner's property.
He released important clues that were meant to stay confidential. She also says she hasn't heard from the sheriff in over 2 months.
We did not even know that Box Elder issued a search warrant for Elko to execute on the Brenner property in Montello, and we have been screaming to get that done.
She's talking about James Brenner, a Nevada man the county named as a suspect. Elko County and Box Elder County sheriffs searched his property on Monday using cadaver dogs, drones, and archaeological excavation procedures. Nothing was found.
You know, you get your hopes up so high that they're going to find something, but at this point, we're what, 2.5 months into this?
Fox 13 News visited the sheriff's department in hopes of getting more information.
The office told me no one is available to comment. I've also called the lead detective on this case multiple times and have yet to hear anything.
I don't believe they have the resources, and I don't believe they're utilizing the resources that they could take.
The FBI is already assisting on the case, but because they're not lead, they can't do much.
You owe us the decency to tell us what is going on.
Reporting in Box Elder County, Emily Tenser, Fox 13 News, Utah.
So anyway, I just wanted to show that because that's just, it's so weird because it seems like all the interviews she did up till now, it was like everything's under control, everything's moving along smoothly, which other than finding Dylan, it seemed like things were getting done, I would think. I mean, they have the help of the FBI, but she's now saying that the communication's lost, and I don't know, it's tough because that they've told everybody not to go out there, which I do understand that, and I've kind of spoke about why they're doing that, and they really just kind of want everybody to kind of just go away for a little while. And it does kind of make sense, but it's just kind of weird for her to kind of come on especially after they just did the search on Brenner's property, which they went out there with cadaver dogs, apparently, but they didn't find anything. But they searched his property that was in Nevada. I don't know. I still feel like he's on the Utah side of things, and I still feel like he's closer. Like I said, his last cell phone ping was here. I feel like he's somewhere either on the grain shed property, the farm, or maybe somewhere up north, up here. That would be my best guess. But, so yeah. But, back out here. But I just can't believe it. Nearly 2 weeks and just still no car for Kylie. They did find that couple. Unfortunately, they crashed their car. Let's see, let me pull up Google Maps. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys heard about that, but they did find that couple. Literally, and what's crazy is like they literally had on their flyer that they were last seen on Poker Flats Road in Penn Valley State, and it went like at least 10 days, and then they were literally found just down this embankment right here. I mean, so they were just right there the whole time, which is sad. Unfortunately, was probably not wearing their seatbelt, and this is what's left over, unfortunately, from their vehicle. They found their bodies outside the vehicle, so I'm assuming no seatbelt. But yeah, super sad. So hopefully, with Adventures with Purpose there tonight, hopefully they're, and it looks like from what that statement said that they're doing some searches tonight. It sound like. Go back to that. See where they how they word it. Oops. Is that here? Where did I see that one? Setting up this evening. Okay, yeah. Ventures with Purpose setting up this evening as promised. So who knows? Maybe they're getting set up for tomorrow because, I mean, I don't know how they do their thing. Maybe they can do it at night. Who knows? But that's just amazing that they're there. So definitely keep track of them. And then I know K9 asked me if we're going to go out there. It's not a no, but we're definitely gonna see what happens first, because I feel like it would take at least a day for us to get out there, and I kind of need a partner in crime to go out there, because kind of Nick is unfortunately working, and so I don't want to go alone. Definitely need to always have a buddy system. I think that's one thing about this case is that we've learned is, you know, you got to have a buddy system, and not especially for parties like this. And let's see if there's anything else on this. Let's see what. There's new updates here. No, just everybody's posting the AWs there. That's about. But anyway, so since and shout out to Copper Horse, which was amazing for all those memberships. So everybody, I'm gonna have some special content probably tomorrow, like a day in the life of what I usually do and stuff like that, and then I'll have some more stuff for the top tier people, and then I was thinking we'll probably do. It's been a while since I've done a members only live, so we'll probably do 2 lives, a regular live and then a members only live. I think either tomorrow or Sunday. We'll see which works better. I'll do a poll, but yeah, I don't know video of the fight. I don't know about the video of the fight. I think they're just saying that there was a fight, but I'll have to look into that. Yeah, a lot of people don't think that she was at the party. I mean, the phone puts her there. I mean, law enforcement, I don't think they're going to go out and say that that she was there and this whole time she wasn't. That just wouldn't make sense. We can look up Placer. Let's see if there's anything here. No, just the one update 8 hours ago where they said that they were looking into all the SOs, the registered SOs. They did apparently catch a few of them that were violating their terms, which is great. And it says with 1 arrest being made and criminal charges to be filed, but they say it's not in. It's not connected to the Kiely case, but it's still great that they're looking at that direction. But to me, I think basically the biggest thing is that now they've toned down all the search and rescue, and now they're still filtering through the tips, and basically now they're just trying to get that one tip that's going to send them into a specific location instead of sitting there spending all this manpower, kind of the blind leading the blind, and get some actual intel, and then you can focus on an exact location. So, yeah, she's amazing. No, no, it's not a fight. Yeah, there's no fight video. What they're talking about is it looks like that there's apparently something going on right here. You can kind of see this kind of guy running up. They think that there was like a fight, but we heard if Sammy's telling the truth, she said that they had like like they were putting boxing gloves on and they were fighting each other, and this was kind of going on the entire party, having like a contest. So I think that maybe what's going on is maybe two girls are boxing over here. And I really think this picture is taken looking northeast, because if they were facing southwest, you would have a steep embankment, and I think you'd have everybody almost like looking down. So I really think this picture is being taken northeast, and then you got the road right here, and I think somebody's in their car that's taking a picture, and maybe if they're in the car, maybe this could be towards the end of the party. I mean, assuming with all this trash on the ground, I would assume this is later on in the party, with that much trash already on the ground. So that would be my my consensus on this picture. But I'm still reviewing it, and all I know is looking at these two pictures together, nothing is added up so far with this. Like, this just looks like this is like some entirely different party. You don't see no rave lights going on up in here. I don't know. I really think this is a picture of a different party. So, let me see what's in chat. Oh, yeah, that's the video that's been going around. I'll play that one more time. I don't think this is Sammy. This was a video, a YouTube short that was posted. It said the chances of getting killed by your bestie is low, but never zero. And it just shows a girl that kind of looks like Sammy, but we kind of went over this yesterday. And then keep in mind, this is uploaded 4/20/2021. So this is completely a year back. And Sammy wears bracelets on both hands. Like major bracelets. She's got a nose ring. I mean, we kind of went over this already. And I don't think there's a fight going. I think they're just giggling, being high, and then it says, "I almost died today." I think they're just being funny, and I think just somebody uploaded this to try to stir up shit. So I think that's what's going on in that. But yeah, back to the picture though. I'm still, but yeah, I don't think this is the same party. I really don't. Everybody's been trying to reverse image this photo, and nobody's gotten anywhere on it. Alright, we'll take one more call. Hopefully I can get to it.
Call from
Debbie.
To accept, press 1.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I was just calling to ask, like, the days of social media, Snapchat, Instagram, and all of that, what was her last Snapchat? We know about the last ping, but I want to know when she actually physically posted something last.
Oh, you're talking about Kylie, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good question. I honestly don't know. I'm assuming maybe hopefully law enforcement knows, but do we know that she was using Snapchat? For sure?
I don't know. I mean, she's a teenager. I think they all do, don't they?
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, for sure.
That was my curious. Yeah, that was my curious thing, and I also want to know if they pulled Sammy's phone records, if she was like in locations at the same time when she went missing.
Yes, geofencing, huge. That's exactly what I was thinking in, this timeline that just doesn't quite add up. I'm gonna pull it up right while we're talking
Right.
here. Is
Right.
her phone supposedly dies at 12:33, but yet there's this conversation that happens at 12:36. Now the
That
only
they were charging their phones in the car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Seems shady to me. She has all the facts until she needed to talk about that, and then she's all stuttering and everything. And as far as Dylan goes, I feel like that something was going on to make sure that he wasn't going to call his family back, because obviously he probably was calling Grandma to say, hey, I wanted to talk to you about Dawn, but then seeing it raining was like, oh, well, I'll call you back. So
oh.
I feel like that's why he went missing, was because just to keep him from talking to his mom and saying, hey, by the way, we fired Dawn. So I really think that maybe Dawn and Brenner had something to do. Like, so you got 3 people who were pissed off of him all at the same time, all the same day, and 2 of the people were not at this whole cookout. So
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah. So you heard about the barbecue between 3 and 6 or 3. I mean, there's been kind of a couple of
Right.
timelines there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All very shady.
Yeah. I agree. But hopefully, I still think Brenner is at least one of the guys. I think, but I feel like there's somebody
do too,
else.
but I don't think he did it alone.
Yeah.
I don't see that
Mm-hmm.
big of a guy being able to pick up and carry and dispose of or do whatever he did.
Yeah.
To, a young man like that. So.
Yeah. I will say I have.
Well, I will.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I have been looking into that because I'm like, I just wanted to see like past incidents where one guy killed another person and had to go hide the body, and it is possible, but it's a lot harder than people think. But yeah, it is, because it's amazing, what adrenaline will kind of get you, get that little super extra human strength. Because there was a guy that ended up killing his not best friend, but it was basically his a girlfriend, and he killed her. And he actually had to. His plan was to put her body in the car and then throw her off the bridge to make it look like she committed suicide. He did achieve that, but I think he broke his leg in the process of doing it, and it's not funny. But yeah, he ended up getting her over all by himself. But he said he couldn't believe But yes, a dead weight is a lot more than people realize for sure.
Right, and I have one more question too. The aerial footage that Diesel Brothers did of the wash, and then the footage that is going around that y'all have with the excavator lines.
Oh,
Have we overlapped those and see if that drone footage of Diesel Brothers at the same time has the same lines in the wash?
I think there's a different wash. Well, okay, so I think it's the same wash, but it's further out. I'm still trying to figure out if that's the same wash, but I'm still trying to figure that out. Because I think it is, but I think it's further towards closer to Nevada. But I'm still looking into that. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I feel like the reason why that they took the high road or the low road instead of taking the actual road that was there in the wash was because if he went the high road, then he would be seen of whatever vehicle he had and whatever he was up to.
Yes,
so,
that's it.
I don't know. It makes sense to me. So.
Yes, no, that's what I thought so too. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call, and I'll be listening to you. You do a great job.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right.
Right. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, so we're going to end the calls here, guys. And what was I going to say? So, yeah, so I've got some stuff coming out for the members because, Copper Horse was so generous to put out some members. And I just got, thank you, Saucy, so much. Saucy Sushi says, hi. Hi, Saucy Sushi. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Help support this channel. Can't do it without you guys. Support, donations, of course, help the channel. We may have a sponsor on the channel soon, I'm hoping, which will really help, which is really cool because it's kind of like a local business that might sponsor me, which is really cool. And so I'm super excited, but we'll have more about that next week. So, but as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, we like to show the viewers pets at the end of the video, and so you can email me a picture of your pet, and then I'll play it at the end. And also, I'm going to do a new donation dance. Hopefully, I'll have it out for tomorrow. Sometimes I like to do a halftime, or we kind of stop the show and just kind of unwind for a minute. And I do kind of funny dances, and so I thought, we'll bring that back, because I think people like that, because even though we're always talking about bad stuff, we got to kind of unwind for a bit. So. Should I play the donation dance? What do you guys think? The classic one. I can't play the other one. Yeah, we'll play it one more, just for those that are new to the show, and then we'll wrap it up. But let's see, where did I put it here? Where did I put it? Donation dance, where did you go? There it is. Okay, here we go. Should we do it? Yes? Okay. Alright. If you can't donate, just, it's just for fun. Just unwind. It's Friday. You guys gotta unwind. And we do like to have fun on this channel. So here we go. And we're gonna end this poll here. Thank you guys so much for donating. Thank you, Tracy, for the $5. Thank you, Arkansas, for the $5. Rainy Days, thank you so much for the $2 and the other $2. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I thought Friday night, let's loosen up here. Oh, and Saucy Sushi, thank you so much for the $3. It helps. Everything that we comes into the channel, we put right back into this channel. So you guys are so amazing. Okay, so Alexis was found. Great. So I had to put my phone on silence, Jennifer. Sorry. If not, it's just going off constantly. So that's awesome. So that's good news. Alexis was found. That's amazing. So thank you so much, Melissa, for the $5. So let's quickly look at that real quick. Let's look this up here. Because when I last looked at it on Twitter, there was no retweets or anything on it. So, let's see. Alexis Bane. Wait, oops. Alexis Bane. "15-year-old Alexis Bane." I guess there's no Twitter thing on it. I guess. All right. Found safe. So here we go. Hey, Tom in. Thanks, buddy. Late for the party. Hope everyone had a great Friday. Thanks, buddy. Thank you so much for the $20. Yeah, that's amazing. 15-year-old Alexis Bane found safe and man linked to Amber Alert arrested. That's awesome. We'd love to hear that. It's always... So, according to the alert, she was believed to be a 51-year-old. Published on August 18th. So this was yesterday, but I didn't... So this is yesterday? Interesting. That's weird, because when I looked it up, there wasn't anything on her. Usually they'll retweet, say, yeah, she was safe. So that's awesome. That's so weird. So thank you, of course, Jennifer. That was so weird because there wasn't an update when I looked at it. So Dog Defender, thank you so much for the $4.99. So yeah, we'll be going live tomorrow, and I think we'll do 2 lives, probably a normal live and then a members only live. And then I've got some members only stuff because Copper Horse was so sweet to hand out a bunch of member only memberships. So we'll have some behind the scenes for you guys. I'm so stoked for that. And Lady M, thank you so much. You're amazing. Lady M's been with me since nearly day one. Same with Zany. It means the world to me, guys. And then one other thing is I'm gonna have a video for for people that have iPhones. Unfortunately, I've just been kind of busy, but I'm trying to put that together to kind of make it not so confusing for people that want to become a member, because unfortunately iPhones and Google and YouTube app don't get along. They're supposed to have an update, and I think some people have got the update, it works for some people, and then others, I don't know if it's just the update or what, but it works for some people, and then others it don't. So I don't know. And then, of course, they don't tell us the content creators, that you guys have that problem. So it's just a pain in the butt. So anyway, we were going to play the outro with the pet outro. If you're new to the channel, like I said, email me, join the mob crew at outlook.com with your pet's picture and the pet name. And it takes a little while, but we will definitely get the animal in there. And it's a lot of fun. Everybody likes to say goodbye at the end. And we get to show the viewers' pets, so it's a lot of fun. So... Oh, you opened a whole new account. Oh, gosh. Hope people don't have to do it that way. Yeah, we're going to have to try to figure out a couple of backdoors. But that might be one of the ways to do it. That's interesting. So, All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. Here's the outro, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.